यस्यान्तन्ति मध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जपति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनि मरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्म तत्त्वं यदानं परिशिष्टान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितपतिनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाजिगतगे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घभवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि श्रीकान्तो मातुलो जननी सर्वमङ्गला जनकः शङ्करो देवः तं वन्दे कुञ्जराननं राकाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदना नागाधिराजस्तुता मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनीनिकाशवग्वैभवं श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी विहाररसिका शोकापहन्त्री सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेः आकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं मातामहौ मातरं च पितरं च पितामहौ मातुलं च गुरून् सर्वान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्द गोविन्द जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदाः निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्. The Bhagavad Gita, Sri Bhagavan, while beginning the Karma Yoga Upadesha to Arjuna, he makes a statement about the Vedas. And that statement particularly concerns about the Karma Kanda part of the Vedas. He says, Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha. The Vedas are dealing with the things that are related to the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Whatever you want to attain through them, whatever the desire you want, whatever the rituals you perform, it is all related to these three gunas. Desire itself is a part of Rajoguna. You have some extreme liking towards something, you want to attain something. So you perform a sacrifice, you perform a ritual towards attaining that. So sometimes it could be tamoguna also, or it could be extreme rajoguna, like you want an enemy to be vanquished, destroyed, and then you perform some kind of a ritual to do that. Or it could be a ritual to attain other lokas, some great punya, or great fame, great wealth. Everything is related to the three gunas and some kind of a material benefit that you get out of that. So that is why he makes the statement, Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha. And you, Arjuna, you become Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Nirdvandvaha Nitya Sattvastaha Niryogakshema Atmava. So you have to be Atmavan. This comes in the Karma Yoga part of Bhagavad Gita. So he is saying whatever karma that you have to perform there, the Arpana Buddhi should be there. That is, everything should be as an Arpana to Bhagavan Narayana, your Ishta Devata. Sarvam Narayanaye Samarpayami. If you do that, then even that small part of the dharma will give you a great result. That is his Upadesha. That is, you should not get involved in the rituals for the sake of rituals. We see that in the story of Prachina Barhis, also in Bhagavata. We saw it in Dashakam 23, the story of the Prachetas and their father, where he was involved only in rituals after rituals. So the idea of the Karma Kanda is for you to gain Chitta Shuddhi, for the Manas, for the Chitta to become pure, for it to understand the Vedanta, for it to develop Bhakti, for it to develop the Guna Dhyana. It is for this that all the karmas are there, all the ritual part. But if the rituals itself attract you so much that you get involved with them and you are not able to proceed beyond them, then it becomes Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha. Then you need an external guru to, the way Narada came and he advised Prachina Barhis. Similarly, you need a guru to come and tell you that this is not the be all and end all. There is a higher jnana. And this has to be performed with that in mind, with devotion in mind, not with only material gain or some kind of pararoka. For other worlds, I want some gain. It is not only for the sake of heaven. It is not what it should be performed for. Or else it becomes very transactional. Any ritual that you do without any, it might be without any devotion, you might do it with very great tapas. Even Asuras and Rakshasas did great tapas. So that extreme discipline might be there. Whatever dravya is required, whatever rules have to be followed, whatever niyamas have to be followed for that. All that you might do, and you might perform the ritual in a perfect manner. And therefore, whatever is the said result of that ritual, said fruit of that ritual, you will gain that fruit. That is a given. It is like a law book, or it is like you do this, you will get this. But if that bhava of bhakti, bhava of devotion, bhava of arpana, of sharanagati is not there, then that will not lead to chitta shuddhi. So this is what Bhattatri also points out in Ajamilopakhyaana. He says, Shruti smritibhyam vihita vratadayaha punanti papam na dunanti vasanam. The vratas in Shruti and Smriti, that is the great, various amount of rituals, varied vratas that have been referred to. They all help you in destroying your papa, destroying your sin, or gaining whatever you want to gain. So they help in both. But they don't destroy that vasana. That is the insight, the samskara that we have to keep desiring for more things or to keep doing more papa. So they don't destroy these two. They don't destroy the root cause. So they are like allopathic medicines, which always mainly deal with the symptoms. They reduce the temperature, they reduce the pain, but they don't attack the root cause. Devotion to Bhagavan is like Ayurveda, which attacks the root cause. It might take a long time, but it directly deals with the root cause. Ananta seva tu nikrantati dvayim. The seva to Ananta, seva to Narayana cuts both. It removes the sins, it removes the papa, and it removes the desire, the cause for doing papa. So we desire a lot of things, and it, as I said, it becomes very transactional. You do some sacrifice, so that Devata is pleased, he grants you something. With that, it is over. You do another sacrifice, they grant, it becomes a business deal. Prahlada says, Bhakti should never be like a business deal. Savai Vanik. He is just a businessman, one who deals like this. He is just a businessman. He does not do bhakti for the sake of bhakti. So even though that might be the first step to develop that immense bhakti towards Bhagavan, we need Bhagavat Kripa itself, or we need Guru Kripa. We need the Kripa of one who is realized. That is the Kripa which Bhagavan in this avatara he is giving to everyone. That is the grace which he is bestowing. Today we will start with Dashakam 62. Kadachid Gopalan Vihita Makha Sambhara Vibhavan Nirikshyatvam Shaure Madhava Madamudvam Situmanaha Vijanannapyetan Vinaya Mrudu Nandadi Pashupan Apriccha Povayam Janaka Bhavata Mudyamagiti. Once upon a time, he saw, Krishna is about 10 years old now, he sees a lot of preparations happening in Vrindavana. Some great function going to take place and everybody is moving about and doing a lot of preparation. Vihita Makha Sambhara Vibhavana. Makha means some yajna, great sacrifice that they are going to perform. All of them are intently preparing for that. Nirikshyatvam Shaure. After having seen this, this is an annual thing that they keep doing. But this time, thought arose in Krishna, will arose that he needs to down the pride of Maghavan. Maghavan is Indra. Maghava Madam Udhvam Situ Manaha. Madam is pride. So that pride has to be quelled. The pride of Indra has to be quelled. Vijanannapyetan Vinaya Mrudu Nandadi Pashupan. Even though you knew what was going to happen, he knows the reason that all these preparations are happening for the sake of yajna towards Indra. Even though with humility, he is still a young child, so he approaches father and all the other elders over there, Nandadi Pashupan, and he asks them, what is it that you are all planning? What is it that you are all performing? Apricha Kovayam Janaka Bhavata Udyamagiti. What is this you are all working towards? I see a lot of effort being put towards some purpose. What is the purpose? Babhashe Nandastvam Suta Nanuvidheyo Maghavataha Makho Varishe Varishe Sukhayati Sa Varishena Prithivim Nrinam Varishayattam Nikhilam Upajidyam Mahitale Visheshadasmakam Trinasalila Jiva Hipashavaha Babhashe Nandastvam. So Nanda, as his father, very sweetly he replied, as you would reply to a child who is curious and asks a lot of questions. Nanda replied to his son, so this has to be done for Maghavan, for Indra. Vidheyo Maghavataha. Makho Varishe Varishe. Every year, this is an annual festival that we are doing, annual yajna, annual sacrifice towards Indra, because he makes the earth filled with rain. Sukhayati sa varshena prithvi. He makes everyone happy. He pleases everyone with the rain that he grants every year. Nrinam varishayattam. For all the men, we are dependent on the rain that comes during monsoon. And especially us, Nikhilam Upajidyam Mahitale, everything, all the plants, the animals, everything depends upon rain. Once the rain comes, then the plants grow and everything is dependent on plants for food. And especially for us, Visheshat Asmakam, because we are all cowherds. Our livelihood is these cows and these plants. And we are dependent upon this. For them to be resplendent and for them to be well maintained, we need this rain. All the cows are dependent upon water and grass. And the water and grass, the water that flows in the Yamuna, or the water that is there in the ponds and streams around, all of them are dependent on copious amount of rains that is blessed by Indra. Indra is the god of rains. Therefore, we are performing this sacrifice. The reply Nanda gave to Krishna. Iti shrutva vacham piturayi bhavana sarasam dhige tanno satyam maghavajanita vrishtiriti iti yat adrishtam jivanam srijati khalu vrishtim samuchitam maharanye vrikshaha kimiva balivindraya dadate. Listening to this reasoning from his father, the cause that Nanda gave to Krishna, Krishna gives an opposite view to Nanda. He tries to convince him, saying, Dighe tanno satyam. And this is not true. Whatever you are saying is not true. Magavajanita vrishtiriti. You are saying that the rain comes due to Indra. I don't accept the statement of yours. The rain comes because that is the nature of rain. Adrishtam jivanam srijati khalu. Adrishtam is punya. So something that we do not see is adrishtam. So we do a particular karma, and then from that karma we either get punya or papa. So both are called as adrishta because we do not see that punya or papa. Then because of that punya or papa, there is some other fruit, the result of that. If it's punya, there is a good result. If it is papa, there is a negative result. Because of this adrishtam, because of our own past karma, Krishna is telling Nanda, because of our past karma, yours, mine, all the Vrajavasis, because of that, depending on that, whatever we have done previously, there might be good rain or there might not be good rain. What is the necessity for the special yajna towards Indra? If we have been good, if we have been taking care of everything, there will be a good copious amount of rain. Or it might be from our previous birth, we have done so many actions. All that put together, we might get some karma phala. How is this sacrifice going to help? Adrittam jivanam srijati khalu vrishtim samuchitam. Whatever is equivalent to your karma, that much vrishti will come. Samuchitam vrishtim janayati. Maharanye vrikshaha. In the forest, there are so many trees. All of them are dependent on rain. Do they do a special sacrifice for Indra? Kimiva balivindra yadadate. So this is a very, we could say, Purva-mimamsa kind of argument that Krishna puts forth. The Purva-mimamsa is the one that that says sacrifices are very important. Purva-mimamsa is the Shastra that is part of the Karma Kanda. They say Karma Kanda is the most important part of the Vedas. So, Krishna takes some arguments from there and he puts forth his arguments. He says, so all this is dependent on karma. What is the necessity for some God sitting up there and giving some phala, this phaladata? So in Purva-mimamsa, the phaladata is not very important. For them, God is not very important. But these devatas, you perform sacrifice for devata, it is almost like a transaction. You do this karma, they will give whatever is necessary. So that is how it goes forth. So it says all this karma we have done, that karma should give its result. What is Indra's role in between? He is not necessary. So that is the argument that Krishna is putting forth. Idam tavat satyam yadiha pashavo nakula dhanam. So same thing in the same in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. The third chapter, again, while that is the third chapter is the Karma Yoga. So there he begins with, he details this process of yajnas, of these sacrifices. Says, Yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. This loka is in the bondage of karma. Therefore, everybody does some kind of yajna. Taratham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. But you do it without any attachment. But how did these yajnas come into existence? He says, Sahayajnyav prajasrishtva purovacha prajapatihi. Anena prasavishyadhvam yeshavos tvishtakamathuk. In the beginning, when Prajapati created, the Srishti happened. Along with that, he created the yajnas. And he says, with this yajna, you can attain this, and with this yajna, you can attain this particular thing. So like that, you do yajna. Anena prasavishyadhvam Shabdham, and this will be Kamadhuk. It will grant all your desires for you. All these sacrifices, these yajnas will grant all your desires. Devan bhavayata anena, te deva bhavayantuvaha, parasparam bhavayantaha, shreyah param avapsyatha. So you please the devatas with these yajnas, and devatas will please you by giving all the natural bounty. And by this repeated transaction, you pleasing them with your yajnas and they giving you this. So each of you being interdependent, both of you can prosper. Devatas and the Matyaloka, both of you can prosper. Ishtan bhogan hivo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattar pradayibhyaha yobhumte stena yevasaha. And those who do not offer these bounty to Bhagavan and they keep it for themselves, they become stena, they become thieves. Like how Vena did. We see in Prithu Charitra, before Prithu Charitra, we see in Dashakam 18. But Vena stopped all sacrifices. And therefore, earth, she took within herself all the bounty that she gives us, all the bounty that nature gives us. She just sucked it within herself. She does not give that to men. So, like that, it happens if this yajna is not performed. Then why is Krishna taking this stance here? So, there are two reasons why Krishna is taking this opposite stance to Nanda. And he says this yajna should not be performed this year. And he gives very logical arguments for that. So one, as we saw in the first verse itself, it is to reduce the pride of Indra. It is to vanquish the pride of Indra, that because of him something is happening. So Indra is also a very great devotee of Bhagavan. There is no doubt about that. You see, even in the Vedas, Indra is one of the greatest devatas. But every now and then, even for great souls, even for Mahatmas, there is a preponderance of Rajoguna. That Rajoguna immediately comes up. Just like we saw how Brahma felt a kind of jealousy towards Bhagavan and he did the Brahma Mohana Leela. Similarly, here Indra, he also has that little amount of pride. He feels that once Bhagavan has taken an avatara as a mortal, he should remain a mortal and he is under the control of Indra. So that is the kind of feeling, that is the kind of pride that Indra has. So one is to reduce that pride in Indra. The second reason is for people to understand that these sacrifices are not the be all and end all, whereas they are a path towards Chitta Shuddhi and attaining Bhagavan is the supreme. So all these should be done as an arpana to Bhagavan, Narayaneeyam samarpayami. With that bhava in mind, if you do, then everything is worth it. Yo yamyam tanum bhaktaha shraddhaya architum ichchati. Tasya tasyachalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. Again, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, whoever worships me in whatever form, I bestow, I give whatever they want in that particular form. So if you worship me as Indra, then I will grant you that whatever Indra in that position can grant, I will grant you all those desires. Sataya shraddhaya yuktaha tasya aradhana mihate. Whichever devata you are devoted towards, whatever is the power of that devata, through that devata I will grant everything. Labhate cha tatakaman mayeva vihitan hitan. Whatever desire he wanted, I will grant. But the understanding should be that Bhagavan is granting them through that particular devata. Whatever small devata, but anywhere, any Ishta Devata, if you are able to do the Upasana of that Ishta Devata as the Supreme Brahman, then that is the grantor of all the wishes. But if you are limiting that Devata to its possibilities, if you are saying Indra is the god of rain and he can grant only rain, he does not have the power over any other part, any other portfolio, then Indra becomes compact to that. It is Bhagavan acting through Indra, giving everything. But we have to understand that all the namaskaras go towards Keshava. Sarvadeva namaskaraha Keshavam prati. So whichever it is an Ishta Devata you have, so everything you can ask only from the Ishta Devata. You don't need separate devatas for everything. Those portfolios exist. But when you are in Upasana and you want an Adhyatma, you want progression in spirituality, then this is the way that you have to ask. Everything you have to ask from Bhagavan. It might be Maheshwara, it might be Sadashiva, it might be Dakshinamurti, it might be Rama, Krishna, it might be Ambal, it might be Ganesha, Subramanya, anybody. But when that bhava that emanates within you is that he can grant everything. He is that supreme Brahman. That is the bhava that should emanate within you. When you are doing this kind of a ritual sacrifice, what happens is that bhava gets limited. There is a parichinna. There is a limitation that your bhava is generating. So when you do the upasana of Indra, saying Indra can only grant rain, and if I have to grant something else, then I have to worship Agni. If I have to worship something else, I have to worship Yama. If you start having such limited bhava, then that devata can grant only that limited amount. That is where Krishna wants to teach the Gopas that this amount do not have this limited bhava, have that supreme bhava towards everything. Have that unlimited bhava. Then whatever sacrifice, whichever devata you do towards, it is always for your Ishta Devata, and everything goes and falls at the feet of your Ishta Devata. And that upasana is always pure, and it leads to Chitta Shuddhi, leading to Jnana. These are the two reasons for which Krishna is giving an opposite argument to Nanda and trying to block the sacrifice here. Idam tavat satyam yadiha pashavo nakula dhanam tada divyayaso badirachala bhartre samuchitaha. This is true. That Indra gives rain is not true. But we know something else is true. Pashavaha na kuladharam. All these cows are our wealth. These are our wealth from generations together. This is our only wealth. Whatever wealth we get is through the cows. They give milk, we change it to curd, butter, everything, and then we sell them and we get our wealth. So these cows are our main wealth. Pashavo na kuladhanam tad ajivyayaso badirachala bhatre samuchitaha. The one that protects the cows is this Govardhana Giri that we see in front of us. That is giving enough grass, enough water, all the water is flowing from there, enough trees and shade and everything. That is the one that is protecting the cows. Therefore, all the bali, all the puja that we have to do is towards this Govardhana mountain. Surebhyo pyutkrishtaha nanu dharani devaha kshititale. And don't you know, Brahmanas are even greater than the gods themselves. Surebhyopi utkrishtaha dharani devaha. Dharani means Prithvi. Devaha are gods. Brahmanas are called Bhudevaha, the gods in this world itself. Bhoja also in his Champu, when he begins his Champu, he does the Namaskara to Brahmanas, because Brahmanas have Vedas, and the Vedas are the breath of the Parabrahman. The one who holds the Vedas is God himself. Tasmād Veda Vibhyo Brahmanebhyo Dive Dive Namaskuryat. Yes, the Vedas themselves say, one who has studied and understood the Vedas, do namaskara, do prostrations to him. So Bhagavan says, these Brahmanas are greater than the gods themselves. Therefore, tatastepi aradhyaha iti jagadi tattvam nija janana. Therefore, worship these Brahmanas also. Worship Govardhana, worship the cows, and worship the Brahmanas. That is more than enough. Bhavad vacham shrutva bahumati yutas tepi pashupaha. Listening to Krishna's words, even the very intelligent Pashupas, all of them are very experienced. Bahumati yutaha, those cowherds, meaning all the elderly people there. Vijendra narchanto bali madadaruchaihi kshitibhrite. Vijendra narchantaha. All of them worshipped the Brahmanas, and they gave great bali to Govardhana mountain. Whatever was ready for the sacrifice of Indra, all those great shipments and everything that had come there, all of that they gave it to Govardhana. Vyadhuh pradakshinyam subhrisham anamanne adarayutaha. They all did pradakshina of the Govardhana mountain, and they all prostrated in front of the mountain with a lot of respect. Tvamadashailatma balimakhilam abhira purataha. Bhagavan, he himself entered the Govardhana mountain and he ate all the bali that was given. So they did not know that he became the mountain, but he himself became the mountain Swarupa. Adaha means he ate everything. Balim akhilam abhira purataha. In front of all the cowherds, he swallowed all the bari that was given. Avochaschaivam tan kimiha vitatham menigaditam. Then here Krishna is also standing in the farm here as usual. So then he tells all the cowherds, see, the mountain itself is consuming everything. Didn't I tell you all that this is what will happen here? So this means the mountain is accepting all our worship. Vitatham menigaditam girindro nanveshaha swabali upabhumte swabapusha. The mountain is consuming everything. Ayam gotro gotradvishicha kupite rakshitu malam samasta nityukta jahrishu rakhila gokula jushaha. Gotraha means mountain, and gotradvishaha, gotradvit means the enemy of the mountain. So the mountain is consuming everything, and gotradvit, the enemy of the mountain, is Indra. You see, in Sundarakanda, this story comes where all the mountains previously had wings, and all of them were flying about like birds. Because they are so huge, they used to cause a lot of destruction. Therefore, Indra, he clipped the wings of all the mountains, and only Mainaka was saved by Vayu. So Mainaka is hiding in the ocean. You see that when Hanuman is crossing over the sea, this story is detailed by Valmiki. Because Indra clipped the wings of all the mountains, and now they no more can move anywhere. Hence, he is called the enemy of the mountains, Gotra Dvit. So, I am Gotraha, this mountain, this Govardhana mountain that is there in front of us, Gotra Dvishicha Kubite Rakshitumalam. If at all Indra gets angry, if he becomes angry, this mountain is more than enough to protect us. So, the play of the words, I am Gotro Gotra Dvishicha Kubite Rakshitumalam Samasta Nityuktaha. Everything he is more than enough to protect us. Jahrusharakila, Gokula Jushaha. This all of them became very happy. And they were all merrily going about whatever rituals that Krishna was asking them to follow. Pariprita yata khalu bhavadupeta brajajushaha brajing yavattavan nijamakhavi bhangam nishamayan paripritaha. Very happy now. They are more than satisfied, and they all returned back to Vrindavana. They did all this puja to Govardhana. They all went back to Vrindavana. When they went back, then Indra understood that they are not going to perform the sacrifice at all towards him. The annual bari they are not going to give. Realizing this, Bhavantam Janannapyadhika Rajasakranta Hridayaha Nasehe Devendraha Uparachita Atmonnatirapi. Bhavantam Janannapi, even though he knew you were the Parabrahman, even though he knew you were the Supreme God, Adhika Rajasa, because of the extra Rajas, and therefore that Rajoguna which is brimming within him, he becomes, that pride takes over. This is why Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, why is a man impelled to do Papa? Only because of Kamagesha, Krodhagesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha, that Rajoguna has to be taken away. And this is why even in the first Dashaka of Narayaneeyam itself, Bhattatri says, Sattvam yattat parabhyam aparikalanataha nirmalam tenatavad. You are Sattva Swarupa, you are pure Sattva Swarupa, Shuddha Sattva, which is not mixed with Rajas or Tamas. Parabhyam aparikalanataha, which is not mixed with either Rajas or Tamas. That is why this Ahankara, any of these gunas are not associated with you. You are Shuddha Sattva Swarupa. But in these Devatas, that Rajo Guna is still there. Natadasti Prithibhyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakriti jayir muktam yadebhisyat tribhir gunaihi. Whatever being is born in these three worlds, Prithibhyam va divi deveshu va punaha. Wherever in these worlds, wherever in this creation there is a being, it is molded with these three gunas: some kind of a combination of these three gunas are there. Krishna says in the 18th chapter that somehow these three gunas will be there. When you are able to get rid of these rajas and tamas more and more, then only when pure Shuddha Sattva remains, that is when Chitta Shuddhi happens and Jnana is realized. So to reduce this Rajoguna and completely remove that Mada in Indra, it is an Anugraha for Indra also. Therefore, Rajasa Akranta Hridayaha Nasehe Devendra. Devendra is not able to bear that the sacrifice was not performed for him. Tad Uparachita Atmonatirapi. Even though he owed this position, the position of Indra that he has, even though he owed it to Bhagavan, he thinks this is not right on the part of Bhagavan to do so when he has taken an avatara as a Manushya. Manushyattvam yataha madhubhidapi deveshva vinayam vidhatte chennashtasthi dashasadasam kopi mahima. Now Indra gives his logic. He thinks, if one has taken the form of a human being, even though it may be the Paramatma himself, even though it may be Mahavishnu himself, if he disrespects the Devatas, then somehow this prestige of the Devatas, the prestige, the status that we have, the position that we have, it is kind of insulted. So therefore, he has to be taught a lesson. I have to show that this is not right. This is not the right path to follow. Tadaschadvam sishye pashupa hatakasya shriyamiti pravrittastvam jetum sakila maghava durmadanidhihi. Therefore, I will destroy everything. Tvam sishye. I am going to vanquish everything, all the prosperity of these Pashupas, all these cowherds. I am just going to destroy everything. Pashupa hatakasya. Hataka means this fellow is nothing in front of me, is a small fellow. Pashupa hatakasya shriyamiti, rascal. That's how he's shouting at Krishna. Pashupa hatakasya shriyamiti pravrittastvam jetum. He begins, he starts taking his whole army and everything. He starts preparing to destroy the whole of Braja. Durmadanidhi, because of the fault that he had in himself. Swadavasam hantum pralaya jalada nambara bhuvi prahinman vibhranaha pulishamayam abhre bhagamanaha. Swadavasam hantum. Wherever they are all living, there is a Braja. To destroy Vrindavana, he calls upon Pralaya Jaladan. Those clouds which are called during Pralaya, they have so much water in them. It is not just a normal cloud, normal monsoon cloud. He calls upon the Samvartaka clouds which are used only during Pralaya. And he commands them to go to Vrindavana and pour down like anything. Prahinman vibhranaha Pulishamayam, and he is also holding the thunderbolt in his hand. Pulisha means thunderbolt. Abhre bhagamanaha. Abhra means clouds. Ibha means elephant. That elephant which is like clouds, which is Airavata. Airavata is white in color. Sitting on top of that, Abhre Bhagam Sapan Airavata holding thunderbolt in his hands and commanding all the Samvartaka clouds to pour down upon Vrindavana. Pratasthenir antardahana marudadyir vihasitaha bhavan maya nevatri bhavanapate mohayatikam. So he is followed by Agni and Vayu and others, but they are not fully in tune with him because he is the Lord of Devatas. They all have to follow him. But within themselves, Antaha, they are all thinking. See, Dahana, Marut, Adyehi, Agni, Vayu, and many others are following Indra. They are following only because he is their leader. What are they thinking within themselves? Antaha Vihasitaha. Within themselves, they are laughing at Indra. They're saying, what is this fool doing? That is what they are thinking within themselves. Doesn't he know it is Bhagavan himself and he is going to lose? His pride is going to be vanquished. Bhavan maya niva tribhavanapate mohayatikam. Your maya can delude anyone. It can put an illusory cover over even Devatas like Indra himself. Who does it not delude? Asks Bhattatri. Surendra kruddhaschet dvijakarunaya shailakrapaya api anatankosmakam niyatagiti vishwasya pashupan. Bhagavan tries to console the Pashupas. He says, see, Surendraha Krudascheti, if at all Indra is angry, then Dvijakarunaya, by the compassion of these Brahmanas, by their Ashirvada, by their blessings, and by the compassion, by the blessings of this mountain, we have done puja of both. We have worshipped both the Brahmanas and the mountain. Anatankaha, we can be fearless. We need not have any doubt. We can be absolutely fearless. Niyatagiti, 100%. We have nothing to fear about. Aho kinnayataha, then he thinks within himself, why has Indra still not come? Why did he not get disrespected enough? Giribhiditi sanchintya nivasan, thinking like this. Marudgehadhisha pranuda muravairin mamagadan. Bhattatri prays to Guruvayurappan, please eradicate all my ailments, O slayer of Muravairin Haragadan. Dadrishire kila tatshanamakshatanita jrumbhita kampita diktataha. As Bhagavan was thinking like this, immediately he saw black clouds surrounding all of Vrindavana. Tatshana akshatas tanita jrumbhita kampita diktataha. Sushamaya bhavadan gatulangataha. Rajapado parivaridharastvaya. There was a roar of thunder from all the directions. And the color of those clouds was like the color of Bhagavan himself. Bhavadangatulangataha. This is the poet. He is bringing beauty to the poem by saying those clouds which were surrounding Vrindavana, they had the same color as that of your body. Vipula karaka mishrais toyadhara nivataihi. Dishi dishi pashubhanam mandale dandyamane. Kupita harikritannaha pahi pahi titesham. Vachanamajita shinmanne ma vibhite tyabhanihi. So all the Gopas, they became, suddenly it started pouring. The Samvartaka clouds are there and there's a torrential rain. It's pouring cats and dogs. And they all became very tormented by that. They do not know what to do. They're all rushing out of their homes. They probably have some kind of temporary homes, not very strong. And this huge kind of hailstorm and there's a gale and everything. Just the amount of wind that is going through, huge hailstones that are mandale dandyamane. They're all, it's as if they're being hit from all sides. Ubita harikritannaha. Here, Hari in this place means Indra. Hari also means Indra. From this act of Indra, pahi pahiti, they are all going to Krishna and surrendering themselves and say, protect us, protect us. Ma vibhite. Do not be afraid, says Krishna. You have surrendered unto me. Do not be afraid at all. Kulaiha khalu gotro daivatam gotra shatroho vihatimiha sarundhyate konuva samshayosvinne iti sahasitavadi deva govardhanadrim tvarita muda mumulo mulato baladorbyam. So this Gotraha, here again he is using the word Gotraha. Gotra means mountain. This Gotra itself is our Kuladeva. He is the deity of our clan. He is our Kuladevata. So he will surely protect us from Gotra Shatru, who is Indra. Do not worry at all. So it will resist. Govardhana will resist the attack of Indra. You do not have to worry about that. Do you have any doubt about this? Do not have any doubt. He says, and then he himself quickly, he just picked up Govardhana. As if one would just pluck a flower, like that he picks up the Govardhana and he held it up with his tender hands. Tadanu girivarasya prodhritasya syatavat sika tila mridudeshe durato varitape. As soon as he lifted this Govardhana, the Govardhana's bed, the place where Govardhana was sitting, there is very soft sand. Sika tila mridudeshe. And durato varitape. Therefore, there is no water is not entering that place at all. Or they're just getting, they probably are going underground. Durato varita ape, varita ape. That apas means water does not come into that place at all. Parikara parimishrane dhenu gopa nadhastate upanida dadhatta hastapadmena shilam. Parikara Parimishran. So with all the household articles, they all whatever important articles they had in their house. We know they did not have lot of possessions. When they came from Gokula to Vrindavana, they just shifted themselves. That means they had very little possessions. Mainly their possession is the cows itself are their main wealth. So with all the possessions, with whatever small household articles they had, Parikara Parimishran, Dhenu Gopan, all the cows and cow herds, they all came under the mountain. They all happily stayed there. Upanida Dattha Astapadvera Shailam. And with your lotus-like hand, you just held the Govardhana on top. Bhavati Vidhrita Shaile Balika Bhir Vajasyaihi Api Vihita Vilasam Kelila Padilole. With all his friends, the Gopikas, the young girls and boys surrounding him, he is happily talking with them, chatting with them, making a lot of fun, enthusiastically. He's just speaking with them in playful conversation, conversing with each other. They're all having a jolly good time over there. Savidha Milita Dhenu Reka Haste Nakandu Yeti Sati Pashupala Toshamaishanta Sarve. And with whatever cow or small calf is next to him, with one hand he is holding up the Govardhana. With the other hand he is happily, tenderly caressing the cow which is close to him. He is caressing the cow, playing with that. And everybody is crowded near Bhagavan. And everybody is very happy. All the cow herds are also delighted. The cows are delighted. They have no problem from the rain now. They are all under the, like an umbrella, under the huge umbrella, which hailstorm or whatever. You cannot break a mountain. Mountain is their umbrella, not a small umbrella which flies away in the wind. The whole mountain is protecting them. Therefore, all of them were extremely delighted. Toshamaishanta sarve. Kanduyana is to caress. All the cows, they love to be caressed. If you go and under their neck, if you like slightly caress them, they keep showing their neck again and again. So even the most rudest or angriest of cows, once you start rubbing their necks, they like it very much. So like that, he was doing the Kanduyana. Atimahan Nidideshatuva Make Karasaroru Hitan Dharate Chiram Kinidam Adbhuta Madribalan Viti Twadabaloki Bhirakathi Gopakaihi Vamake Karasaroruhi. So with the left hand, he was just holding this huge mountain. Dharate Chiram, for a long time he was holding it. So all the Gopas standing around him, saying, what a surprise. Even though every new Leela is a huge surprise for them. Adbhuta Madribalan Viti. So the Avalokam here Akathi Gopakaihi. Between each of them, they are talking to each other. Oh, could this be due to the power of the mountain itself? It might not be due to Krishna. Maybe because we did puja to the mountain, maybe the mountain itself has lifted itself up. That is what they are all thinking. Because they also know the previous katha that mountains used to have wings. Maybe because we did puja, that previous power of the mountain has been energized. It has been activated. And the mountain has risen up by itself and now it is standing at that particular height so that we all can stand below it. That is what they are all thinking. Ahaha dhashya mamushya vator girim yachita bahu rasavavaropayet. Indra pouring down with the Samvartaka clouds, he starts thinking, Ahaha dhashya, this young fellow, the arrogance of this fellow. How arrogant is this fellow? What does he think he can do? Will he keep holding it up like this? Let us see how long he can hold up. Once his hands start paining, Vyathana means that pain that due to exertion, the pain that you have. Vyathitabahu, once his arms start paining, then he will keep it down. Avaropayete, he will surely keep the Govardhana down. Then he will learn his lesson. Iti haristvagi baddha vigarhanaha. Again, here Hari means Indra. Again, so he had some kind of small enmity, I feel. Baddha vigarhanaha divasa saptagamugram avarishayate. For one whole week, there were torrential rains. He just kept on pouring it down fiercely for one whole week. Achalatitvagi deva padat padam. Wouldn't move 1 centimeter from there. Not even little movement was there for the whole of the 7 weeks. Padat padam achalati. Once he saw that you are not moved an inch, Galita sarva jalecha ghanotkare. The clouds had finished pouring down. All their water was empty, and they had no more water to pour down. That is when Apahrite Maruta Marutam Patihi, and all those clouds had become so light that the wind just blew them away. There was no more water, means the wind just blows the clouds away. Tvadabhishankitadhi samupadravat. Indra just fled away from there, knowing that this was the case. Shamamupe Yushi Varishabhare Tada. In the previous talk also, Maruta Marutam Pati. So Maruta Apakriti, all the clouds were taken away by the wind. Marutam Pati means Indra. Marut means wind. Marut also means gods. So Marutam Pati refers to Lord of the gods, which is Indra. Maruta Apakrite means all the clouds were blown away by the wind. So both. That's why Apakrite Maruta Marutam Patihi, and Indra also fled away from there. Shamamupe Yushi Varishabhare Tada Pashupade Kule cha Vinirgate. Once that downpour had subsided, then all of them, they all returned back to Vraja itself. They all returned back. Bhuvi Vibho Samupahita Bhudharaha. Krishna slowly he kept the Govardhana in its own place, in the same place wherever he lifted it from. Pramuditai Pashupai Parire Bhishe. He just hugged all his close friends and he was happy along with them. Very happily, they all went back to their own place. Dharani meva pura dhrutava nasi shitidharodharane tabakashramaham iti nutas tridashaih kamalapate guru puralaya palaya mangadat. All other devatas, they started praising Bhagavan. They said, you in a previous avatara, you had lifted the whole of the earth itself. What is the great surprise that you lifted up this Kshitidhara? Means mountain. So in Samskrita, Dharani means the earth, that is the whole world that is there. Dharani Brit means mountain. One that holds the Dharani is called Dharani Brit. I think we previously also saw this. So he used the words Kshitidhara. Kshitidhara also means mountain. The mountains are holding the earth together, so the earth just doesn't split away. That is the idea behind that. Kshitidharodharane tavakashramaha. You lifted the whole of the Kshiti in Varaha. So what is the great difficulty in lifting up a single mountain which is a part of an earth? There is no great surprise at all. Like this, you were praised and extolled by all the devatas. Tridashaihi kamalapate. O Guruvayurappa, please protect me from all the diseases that I have. Continues to 64th Dashaka, which is the Govinda Pattabhisheka. Alokya Shailodharanadi Rupam Prabhavamuchaistava Gopalokaha Vishweshwaram Tvam Abhimatya Vishwe Nandam Bhavajatakamam Vavrichan. Seeing these great leelas of Bhagavan, the great feats and great activities that Bhagavan does, all surprising, shocking, and something that is not mortally possible. Seeing these things, the lifting of the mountain, all the other Gopas, they understood that this is Lord of the universe himself. Vishweshwaram Tvam Abhimatya, he is surely the Lord of the universe. They all understood this within themselves. And then they went to Nanda and they asked, what is this horoscope? What is this young boy's horoscope? Please tell us. Bhavajatakaman vavrichan. They became very curious. Gargodito nirgadito nijaya vargaya tatena tava prabhavaha purvadhikastvai anuragayesha vaidhishtatavat bahumana bharaha. Whatever previously Garga had told Nanda during Namakarana, you can see in Dashaka 44, Garga detailed all the great qualities of Bhagavan. He said, he will be a great savior for your whole Kula, not only your Kula, for the whole of Yadava Kula, he will save them. And he will be extremely liked by everyone. So that is all that from the horoscope Garga told. Garga knew that he was Bhagavan. And whatever Garga had told Nanda, Nanda told that to all the other cowherds, all his colleagues and other elders of the clan. He told he told them all these things. Vargaya means that crowd of Pashupas. Whatever respect they had previously, all these cowherds had great respect, great attachment towards Bhagavan. Their attachment increased. Purvadhikaha, adhikaha, purvena adhikaha. They had great respect. It increased even more. Anuraga yesha vaidhishtatavat bahumana bharaha tatovamano tatvabodhaha suradhiraja sahadivyagavya. After this insult, avamana udita tatvabodha. Then one tatvabodha happened for Indra. After this insulting episode of and events that had happened, then Indra got one tatvabodha. He realized and he came down along with Kamadhenu. One day when Krishna had taken all these cows for grazing, he did not want to approach in front of everyone. And so separately when Krishna was there, he approached Krishna along with Kamadhenu, Divya Gavya, Ubetya Tushtava Sanashta Garvaha. Came there and praised Bhagavan. Now he became Nashta Garva. His pride was completely gone. He fell at your feet along with the bejeweled crown, Mani Mauli. Mauli means the crown, something that you wear on your head that is studded with a lot of gems. That kind of a head which is bejeweled with the crown, he put it at your feet. Sprishtva padabjam mani maulinate snehasnutaistvam surabhih payobhihi govindanamankitamabhyashinchat. That Surabhi, Kamadhenu, with her extreme affection towards you, devotion towards you, she herself bathed you in that divine milk and gave the name of Govinda. This is when Indra and Kamadhenu together, they give the name Govinda to Bhagavan and they do the Abhisheka. This is called as Govinda Pattabhisheka. The divine milk itself, Abhisheka of Bhagavan is done here. And he is given the name of Govinda. One who protects the cows is Govinda. One who is to be known through the census is called Govinda. There are many meanings for Govinda. So, Govinda Namankitam Abhyashinchat Airavatopahrita Divya Ganga Patho Bhindro Pichajata Harshaha. Indra also did Abhisheka of Bhagavan. Airavata got the Akasha Ganga, divine waters of Akasha Ganga. Airavata bought it. Indra used that Akasha Ganga to do Abhisheka to Bhagavan, and both of them called him Govinda. Jagatrayeshe tvayi gokuleshe tatha bhishikte sati gopavataha nagepi vaikuntha padepyalabhyam shriyam prapede bhavatah prabhavat. You, the Lord of the three worlds, and you are the Lord of Gokula also. When this Abhisheka was done to you, this Abhisheka has been performed by Indra himself and by Kamadhenu herself. This kind of prosperity, the prosperity that is not available in either heaven nor even in Vaikuntha, that kind of a prosperity was now available in Gokula. How come? This Abhisheka, this kind of a Rajya Abhisheka has never, it's not a Rajya Abhisheka, it is a very divine Abhisheka, has not happened neither in heaven nor in Vaikuntha. That kind of an Abhisheka was performed here at the foothills of Govardhana. Therefore, that whole place of Vrindavana became extremely divine in prosperity. So, Nakepi, even in the heavens, Vaikuntha Padepi Alabhyam, or in heavens, that kind of a prosperity was now available in Gokula itself. Kadachit antaryamunam prabhate snayam. Now he goes on. So with that, Govinda Pattabhisheka, the Leela, the Govardhana Leela is finished. Next, a different story begins. Kadachit antaryamunam prabhate snayan pita varunapurushena Nitastamane to magaf purintum tambarunim karanamartya rupaha. Once upon a time, Nanda went to bathe in Yamuna very early in the morning. So you have to bathe only in the Brahma Muhurta, not before the Brahma Muhurta. The time before Brahma Muhurta is called Nisha, that is Ratri. It is the night time when you can you usually should not do any punya karma. That is not fit time. It is the time for abhicharik karmas, doing karma which are related to tamoguna, and not very good time to do that. So the snana should not be done in that time, except in exceptional circumstances, like tonight when you are going to have a Chandra Grahana. So in that Grahana, it becomes a Punya Kala, and therefore you have to have a bath during that particular time. But otherwise, you should not have bath during the night time. So Nanda went to have bath in the Yamuna very early in the morning. Before the Brahma Muhurta itself, he went to have bath. So that is the time of Rakshasa, the time of Nishacharas, Pishacharas, and all those. Whenever that happens, then Varuna punishes them in some particular manner. So what happened in his case, in Nanda's case, Varuna Purushena, by all the attendants of Varuna, he was taken to Varuna Loka. Nitaha Varuna Purushena Nitaha. So to bring back Nanda, Bhagavan himself went to Varuna Loka. Anetu Magaf Purintum Tambarunim Karanamartya Rupaha. You had taken this form, this form of a martya, means form of a man, for some cause. What is the cause? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. For that cause, to protect the sadhus and destroy the bad people, you have taken this form. You went there to Varuna Loka itself. And seeing you there in Varuna Loka, sasambhramam tena jaladhivena prapujitastam pratigrihyatam upagatas tatkshanamattmageham pitavadattacharitam nijebhyaham. As soon as you went there, sasambhramam. Sasambhrama means with great respect. When a great person arrives at the door without any previous intimation, you become there's one padapadappu, as we say. You don't know what to do. And like that, Varuna was surprised. And then he worshipped Bhagavan. He gave all the respect to Bhagavan. And he sent Nanda also back with Krishna. Upagatas tatkshanamattmageham. Immediately Bhagavan returned with Nanda to his own house in Gokula. And Nanda related this to everyone at home and everywhere in the village. That Krishna was worshipped even by Varuna himself when he went to Varuna Loka. Means Krishna has a higher status. Little by little, they keep realizing the supreme status of Krishna. Harim vinischitya bhavantametan. Previously, when the Garbhashamana of Indra happened, they have realized. Again, they are realizing that he is greater than Varuna. So everywhere, Bhagavan is showing them his real Swarupa and making them realize his real status. So now they have completely realized that Harim Vinischitya Bhavantametane, he is Hari himself, Mahavishnu himself. He is the all-pervading Lord. Bhavat Pada Lokana Baddha Trishtan. Now they have a desire to see that Vaikuntha Pada, see that supreme state of Bhagavan. They all have a desire. Nirikshya Vishnu Paramam Padam Tat Durapamani Drishastan. That Pada, that Vaikuntha Pada, which is very difficult to be attained by even the greatest of yogis. Anyehi Durapam Tan Aridashaha. You showed it to them with that great compassion. You showed it to all the Gokula Vasis. Purat Parandarasa Prabaha Prapurna Kaivalya Mahapayodho Chiram Nimagna Kalugo Pasanghas Pagiva Bhuman Punarudhritaste. It is like Bhagavan gave Nirvikalpa Samadhi to them right there. So the Pada, the great Pada of Bhagavan does not mean some Loka, does not mean Vaikuntha Loka. Here clearly in the first sentence we see Prapurna Kaivalya Mahapayodhu. It's a great ocean of bliss. How? Mahapayodhi means big, huge, humongous ocean. It is a Kaivalya Mahapayodhi. Kaivalya means there is only a single vastu there. There is no second. Kaivalya itself means that Pada which is singular, which has no second, non-dual Pada. Kaivalya Mahapayodhu. There they are immersed in that continuous Prabhu Ananda Rasa, that supreme bliss without any break, that Paramananda Rasa, they are immersed in that Paramananda Rasa. Spurat Parananda Rasa Pravaha Prapurna Kaivalya Mahapayodho. That Nirvikalpa Samadhi Ananda, they are immediately right there in Gokula. They have that Advaita Jnana. Bhagavan gave to all of them. Chiram Nimagna, for a long time they stayed in that same state. Khalu Gopasanghaha Tvajiva Bhuman Punarudhritaste. So after a long time, Bhagavan himself brought them out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Tarabadarabadevam Devaputra Vatare Nijapadamanavathyam Darshitam Bhakti Bhajam. Bhattatri, he sees Lord Krishna and he asks, in what other avatara did you show? Karabadara means a berry in one's hand. See, Hastamalaka, you know the word Hastamalaka as the Shishya of Shankaracharya. And it is used even in the Bhashya, Shankara Bhashya and the commentary, Shankaracharya uses this word. Means the jnana, as if it is the like a berry, small berry, if you hold it in your hand, it is so easy to attain. Nothing, you can just put it in your mouth, you can do anything with it. And it's so simple. There's nothing more to do. Like that, that whole jnana, you gave it in the palm of their hands. Kara Badaravatu, like a berry in the palm of your hands. Uttaravatare, which other incarnation did you give it so easily, as if there is no effort to attain it? Nijapadamanavapyam darshitam bhakti bhajam. That great supreme state of yours, you showed it to all of them. Tadiha Pashupa Rupi. You are just in the form of a cowherd. Oh, Krishna, who is in the form of a cowherd. Tvam hi sakshat paratma. You are that supreme Brahman, you are that supreme state. Pavanapura nivasinne. Oh, Guru Vairappa. Pahima mama yebhyaha. Protect me from all these diseases and ailments. So here, Bhattatri is giving a very subtle point. Any avatara does not become an avatara because of performing great feats. In the last 3 Dashakas, we have seen that Bhagavan lifted the whole of the Govardhana mountain. A normal man will not be able to lift the Govardhana mountain. But such magical feats can be performed even with some kind of a siddhi. See, a magician may also show some things like this. He might be able to put a knife through his throat, knife within his he can show like he splits into 2. All that, like some magic he can show. And some other Siddha Purushas also can do something. Like Duryodhana himself was a Siddha Purusha. He sat within the pond after everybody died. Without fighting, he went and sat inside the pond without Jalastamba. A normal man cannot sit within Sarovara. He himself created a place which looked like a lake and he went and sat inside that. You cannot hold your breath for hours together like that. Only a Siddha Purusha can do that. So he had his own siddhis. Even when Bhagavan showed his Vishwarupa, Duryodhana said, all this is magic. There is nothing. So by showing some siddhis, a person, it does not become an avatara. An avatara Purusha is one who can give jnana, who can give the jnana siddhi to another person who is ready to receive it, who has the chitta shuddhi to receive them. So we can call a person an avatara Purusha only when they have that power to give the jnana to others. So tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashtena sevaya, from a guru, that avatara Purusha it only can give the jnana like this in Karabhadarvadeva. Even in Ramayana, we see Ramayana stands there, Rama stands there as a witness to Shabari's moksha. He is the one who can give Shabari moksha. He is the one who can give Sharabhanga moksha. All of them are waiting to see Bhagavan. Shabari, Sharabhanga, and all those munis. So the Avatara Purusha is the one who can give that jnana immediately. Similarly, we can see with the avatars of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, and all these, we call them as Avatara Purushas because we see from that Upadesha, see so many devotees stand in that Samadhi Sthiti. They get the jnana immediately. They are ripe enough to get the jnana. But the jnana can be given only from that realized soul. Only that person can be called as Avatara Purusha, who can give that jnana like a berry in the palm of a hand. Hastamalakavad, the one who can give that jnana, he is an Avatara Purusha. Shankaracharya is an Avatara Purusha because he gives jnana to everyone. So that is the only identification of an Avatara Purusha. Not doing magical feats or for attraction. We get attracted to that story. We get attracted to that feat because of seeing all this. But then the subtle point lies in getting the jnana. We have to understand that Nivikalpa Samadhi. All of us have to reach that Samadhi sthiti. And that can be gained by the grace of an Avatara Purusha, gained by the grace of a Jivan Mukta. That is why that Mahapurusha Samshraya is extremely important. Satsanga, being in the precincts of a realized soul, having contact with them is extremely important. That is what he shows in this last verse of this Dashaka, that it is not just some great feat. So, why didn't Ramana Maharishi or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa perform some great feat? So we cannot ask that. Each avatara has its own purpose, but every avatara of Bhagavan will have the purpose. Whether it's an Amsha avatara or it is a Purna avatara like Bhagavan Krishna, the purpose will be the final purpose will be to give jnana. If that jnana is given, there will be surely some avatara of Bhagavan. It is some vibhuti of Bhagavan that has taken an avatara. There is no doubt about that. That is the point that we have to understand from here. Karabhadarava devam deva kutra vatare nijapadamana bhakyam darshitam bhakti bhajam tadiha pashuparupi tvam hi sakshat paratma pavana pura nivasin pahimam amayebhyaha. We shall also pray to Bhagavan Guruvayurappan to give us that jnana nishtha, and in the next week we will see the great highest bhakti of gopis. We will experience the Rasa Panchakam next week. Gopika Jivana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jagaya Rama Rama Haranama Yato mamatma taveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvaatmanatham ramanam bhajami.